How do I even begin with this game, man? The Ring Terror's Realm is a Dreamcast survival horror game made by Ace Entertainment. I think I said that right. The game released February 24th, 2000 in Japan and September 29th, 2000 in North America. You might think just because it has the title The Ring, it's based on the movies, but it's actually based on the books, which I didn't even know existed. This game is well known for not being very good, but there's so many little things you can change to make the game half decent. I might point out some ways the game could easily be fixed, and I imagine that'll be pretty often. Before I start anything, you have to see this cutscene.
It's not too bad, even as a prototype. The force of Sadako Yamamura.
The force of Sadako Yamamura?
Well, it's unlikely to be a homicide case. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Virus, what are you talking about, Chief?
Yeah, and I think we're just gonna have to do it that way.
I'm Meg. Please, you have to help me.
I'd like to point out the music in this cutscene. It's not good. You'll quickly realize that not good is a running theme with this game. After that cutscene, you're greeted by the menu with some interesting sounds to go with it. After the main menu, you're thrown into another cutscene. This one's kinda long, so I'm just gonna summarize it. This guy, Robert, he's messing around on his computer and then it kills him. Then it cuts to Meg. This is Meg. This is the player character and who you'll be playing as in this game. She's also Robert's girlfriend. She goes to Robert's house and hops over some police tape to go see him. She finds out that Robert is dead. She passes out, then this other guy named Jack comes over to pick up her body. And then Jack says, yeah, I know these guys, they're my friends. And that's it, pretty much. The cutscene actually continues a little bit after, and I can actually show you this part.
I'm still alive. I'll work for this company without you, Robert. I shouldn't mourn your death forever. Right.
When does this cutscene take place? A day after she passed out? A week even? I guess this is just one of the many mysteries of this game. Regardless, you can actually play the game now. The first thing you'll probably notice is that this game runs on tank controls, meaning up moves you up, down moves you down, left turns you left, and right turns you right. It also uses a fixed camera angle. However, in the main menu options, you can actually change the fixed camera angle to a third-person one. There's also a few other options in there too. It's kinda cool how they went the extra mile to do that. They didn't have to, but I'm glad they did. But I'm gonna stick to the fixed camera angles for the video. Alright, I can't avoid it any longer. You hear the music. This track you're hearing now is awful, and you're gonna hear it a lot. But not all the tracks are like that. I mean, listen to the save file music. It's just the one track you hear the most sucks the most too. Cover your ears for this one. Remember when I said I may point out stuff that could easily be changed to make the game better? Well, this is one of those things. My suggestion? Just take the music out. And I mean it too, just remove it. Like what if all you heard was just your shoes on the tile floor? That'd be kinda unnerving. Regardless, I'm making the executive decision to mute any footage that has that track in it. Now that I'm done talking about the music, I can finally talk about the game. Now the first room you're in is a small office space. My first reaction was to interact with everything in the room. You're actually supposed to try and leave the room. When you try to leave, Jack will call you on the fax machine. Jack says, sorry Robert died, also don't use the Ring program on his computer, it could kill you. If you've seen the movie, then you know how in the movie it's a VHS tape that kills you. Well, it's a computer program here in the game. Maybe it was like that in the book. Well, after Jack calls you and tells you not to go on the computer, you're supposed to go on the computer and mess around on it. Then I think you're like teleported into the computer program. In this game world you get a gun, and this is where the gameplay actually starts. The controls for combat are pretty basic. You aim with the right trigger and shoot with A. You can also hit the left trigger to turn your light on and off, although I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. Hitting start will open up the menu. There you can see your health and all the items you have. You can also hit Y to go first person, but I've never found much use for this besides looking around for a brief moment. When you're done screwing around with the controls, you can go up the stairs behind you. Up the stairs you can kind of realize how this game could be kind of good. Although there is some music up here, there's a complete lack of really annoying music. All you really hear is the sounds of your footsteps echoing. It sets a good atmosphere, right? Too bad Meg breaks the fourth wall and ruins the atmosphere. She says there's no enemies here and that this is stupid. And then this Bigfoot monster comes out of nowhere and just starts running towards you. If Meg didn't break the fourth wall there, the scene wouldn't have been half bad. Bigfoot didn't really help either, but still. After that, you walk down the stairs and are thrown out of the computer. Then you get that phone call saying 7 days. Then you're supposed to leave your office, and then this woman named Chris will escort you to your boss. To sum up what he says, "We don't know what killed Robert, also we've been quarantined and can't leave, but feel free to mess around the office, just don't go in the basement, there's a virus leak." I'm not sure what he means by virus leak. Does he mean like a chemical spill or something? Because when I think of a virus leak, I think of like a computer virus or something. After that, I had no clue what to do. My instincts told me to go back to my office. And yeah, this time I was right. Here I get a phone call from Jack again. Meg pretty much tells him, I used the Ring program on the computer, then I got called on the phone. Voice on the phone said I have 7 days left to live, okay bye. Jack also briefly mentions that Robert's body is in the office you're at, so of course you go bother your boss about it. He gets sick of your crap and throws you out of his office. Then you're supposed to find this doctor guy and talk to him. Although you wouldn't find him at all unless you were just opening random doors. The game doesn't tell you to find him either, you're on your own at this point. He tells you to go to the locker rooms. I'll go to the wrong one and find this lady with the, interesting hair. So I leave that locker room and go to the one next to it, which is the one I'm supposed to go to. I break into Robert's locker, then I break into this room, I get kicked out of it, then I can finally get back to the computer and get to the game. It's unfortunate that nothing ever really happens in the office until kinda later in the game. The second time you go into the computer, nothing really happens. All you do is kill this monster that's hiding and then you can leave. After that, you can go to the first floor of the office and screw around there. It's very brief, there's not much to do here. You do get to hear a new music track here, but I'm gonna skip ahead here. When you go into the computer for the third time, there's a shotgun now in one of the rooms. And this is when I realized how touchy the game was with these little puzzle segments, if you can even really call them that. As you can see, the shotgun is on top of this like shelf thing. My first guess was to interact with it. My thinking was that maybe it would give me a hint on what to do, but that didn't do anything. Next, I did what anyone else would do. Just start spamming interact on everything. Even this little moving cart thing, keep that in mind. I don't know how many times I slammed into this little cart thing and it didn't move. It got to the point where I interacted with everything in the room. I thought the solution was in a nearby room at that point, so I went looking through the other rooms. After that, I came back to the room and bumped into the little cart. It no joke scared me a little because I thought you couldn't move that. But no, I just didn't hit the cart in the right place to move it. If little things like that were changed, the game would be so much better. Other notable things on this floor is a boss fight, and that boss is a gorilla for some reason. And for the first time ever, I actually died. These two monsters ganged up on me. After all that, you're once again thrown back into the office. Here I notice that some areas are mirrored in the computer world. What I mean by that is that some areas in the computer are like more dark and grungy versions from the office. It's kinda cool really. The only other game that I can think of that's done that is maybe Silent Hill, but not much really happens here. You go to the basement and you can realize that's mirrored as well. After that, you sneak up to your boss's office and steal some film. Then you watch the film from the movie, the cursed one. I thought this had nothing to do with the movie. What's going on here? It doesn't show the whole thing, but still, why is this even here? After that, I was immediately thrown back into the computer world. I don't know if I accidentally skipped a cutscene or what, but I was just here. Here I got an AUG or an AUG, depending on how you want to say it. I also got a grenade launcher here too. You also find Jack here, and he saves you from a monster. Admittedly, I'm skipping around here just to kind of give you the highlights. This game is very repetitive. It gets to the point where it's pretty much a routine. You start off in the office, figure out what to do it, go to the computer, get kicked out of the computer, then restart at the beginning. That's really most of the game right there. Just kind of an endless cycle of that. I won't show the ending because in all honesty, I've had enough of this game. I in all honesty tried to film the ending, but something I needed just didn't spawn and I couldn't complete it. In the beginning, I kinda liked this game. It had a certain charm to it. Anything I had a problem with in the beginning could have easily been fixed with some sort of hack, but admittedly, towards the end I got sick of this game's stunts to the point where I even considered cheating. But it's not the worst game I've played. I'd say it's more like below average. Would I play this game again? Maybe the first hour or so, but not anytime soon. That brings us to the end of the video. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you left a like, subscribed, and all the other YouTube stuff. And maybe I'll even see you in the next video.